Did you know that one of the world's most active volcanoes, Mount Etna in Sicily, Italy, is volcanic because there's a Greek giant trapped under it? Yes, it is believed that his movements are the reason behind the volcanic activities and earthquakes in the region. Even today, in modern Greece, every time there is a significant earthquake, news channels report that Enceladus has woken up or that the locals felt Enceladus' wrath. But who is this giant? Let's find out. Enceladus was one of the most powerful Greek giants, if not the most powerful. He was the son of Tartarus, or Uranus the sky, and Gaia the earth. He was a terrible immortal creature who stood against the Greek gods of Olympus, posing a severe danger to the divine order during the Gigantomachy, the epic fight between gods and titans for supremacy over the cosmos. Do note that many people mix up the Gigantomachy with the Titanomachy. However, they were two different occurrences in Greek mythology. The Titanomachy was a conflict between Greek gods and titans that finished with the gods victors under Zeus's command, and the titans being imprisoned deep below Tartarus. Gaia, the Titan's mother, cannot stand the agony of seeing her offspring buried within the earth's deepest holes and sought vengeance. As a result, she gave birth to the giants, a powerful race of ferocious immortals. The giants began destroying and challenging the gods' rule the instant they arrived. The subsequent war was brutal, with gods fighting alongside giants in every part of the globe. According to a prophecy, the gods could only defeat the titans with the assistance of a mortal. Gaia attempted to protect her offspring, the giants, with a particular plant, but could not find it since Zeus stopped the light of the sun and moon and collected all of the plants on his own. This blocked the success of her plan. Zeus then summoned his famous demigod kid, Hercules, and with him, the gods now had the most powerful mortal on their side. As the prophecy had predicted, Hercules would discharge one of his arrows for every giant struck by Zeus's lightning. Apparently, without this, victory would have been impossible. There are a few exceptions here, as not all giants were hit by Hercules' arrows, and Enceladus was one of them. Although ancient sources debate over the ruler of the giants, Claudian refers to Enceladus as the all-powerful king of the earthborn giants. However, Claudian indicated in another of his texts that if the giants won, Typhoeus would take Zeus's position on Olympus and Enceladus of Poseidon's in the sea. In any event, Enceladus was clearly one of the most significant of his kind and was seen as a major danger to the authority of the Olympian gods. An issue with the Gigantomachy is that the myth's sources are scarce. Moreover, ancient authors frequently dispute with one another. As a consequence, several gods are claimed to have defeated Enceladus. Let us examine them more closely. Nonnus, who wrote the Dionysiaca, presents Dionysus throwing fire at Enceladus with little success. In the end, Zeus became the one who uses his thunder to defeat Enceladus' aggression. In this version, the combination of Dionysus' fire and Zeus' thunder burned the giants and silenced Enceladus. Although no one believes Nonnus' tale, many other authors believe Zeus was the one who destroyed the enormous Greek giant. This explains why Enceladus' body is described as lightning-scarred in Virgil's Aeneid after being struck by Zeus' heavenly weapon, thunder. In Euripides' Cyclops, Silenus, the follower and foster father of Dionysus, is the one who defeats Enceladus. This has to be a sarcastic spin on Euripides' ancient story. It seemed odd that Silenus, a drunken wine god, would murder one of the most potent giants. Indeed, it is so ludicrous that even Silenus seemed to find it difficult to believe. Euripides' other work, Ion, depicts the classic version of the narrative, with Athena wielding her spear against Enceladus. The more traditional version of Enceladus' myth has a lengthy history dating back to the 6th century, and a vase artwork shows Athena and the Greek giant fighting. The competition between the two is a recurring theme in all narrative versions. Even in Nonnus' version, when the giant is defeated by the united armies of Dionysus and Zeus, Enceladus is motivated to battle to marry Athena. It's vital to remember that Athena was a goddess who was famous for being a virgin. In truth, she was the protector of virginity, and marrying would be impossible for her. Enceladus' desire to marry her was the same as his declaration that he would rape her. As a result, the ancient reader would have thought the concept of a giant marrying the goddess to be absolutely absurd. Furthermore, the Greek mythographer Apollodorus claims that when the other giants were killed by Hercules' arrow and Zeus' thunder, Enceladus escaped. At that point, Athena erected Sicily and buried Enceladus under it. Finally, Pausanias, a 2nd century CE Greek travel writer, described another version of the fable in which Athena throws her chariot to Enceladus. The Greek giants all had varied fates, but Enceladus's was one of the most inventive and terrible. Almost every version of Enceladus's narrative concludes with the giant being buried. Apollodorus buried him beneath the island of Sicily, while Virgil and Claudian buried him behind the mountain Etna, also in Sicily. As an immortal, the giant is still alive and suffering under Mount Etna. His actions and wrath force Etna to erupt, bringing fire and disaster to the land around it. He has been raging and creating havoc for ages. Even today, the Greek giant is restless as volcanic activity continues to alarm the locals. Enceladus became a god associated with volcanic activity and earthquakes due to this feature of his narrative. It's worth recalling that people believed the world was floating in the sea in ancient Greece. This concept may be traced back to Thales of Miletus. Enceladus was promised Poseidon's kingdom at the start of the Gigantomachy if the giants won. The ocean was the region in question. Furthermore, Poseidon was given the title Earthshaker in Greek mythology. Despite having a more significant influence than Enceladus, Poseidon was regarded as the deity responsible for all earthquakes. This phenomenon was and still is extremely widespread in the eastern Mediterranean. As a result, because Enceladus was buried beneath an island, there was an apparent link between the seismic powers and the ocean. There's also a moon of the planet Saturn named after the Greek giant, and it's the most deliberative body in the solar system. So, how'd you like the lesser-known story of Enceladus? Let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay mythical.